Hey guys, Kevin here with Leap Year Barbecue. I am doing a video to show you how to make crispy chicken thighs on the smoker. Some people think you can't make your chicken thighs smoky and crispy at the same time. I've done it a couple of times with varying results. I think I kind of messed up on one of the rubs one time and it wasn't so good, but the crispiness was there. It's a super easy 2.5 hour cook, very simple. There's not much to it, so I'm going to show you how to do it. And really, there's not even going to be a whole lot of prep for it. It's very, 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 very easy. So first, it's chicken. Get those gloves on. And we're just going to prep them right now. We're prepping the smoker too at the same time, and I'm going to do a longer video on kind of how to get coals for that and what to do exactly. But for now, I'm going to show you how to do the chicken. There's nothing crazy about this chicken. It is literally from Kroger. You know, it's just your run-of-the-mill bone-in chicken thigh. And I'm going to do another video too showing you how much of this, how many you can cook on the smoker. Because you can actually get quite a lot on there if you're a little bit crafty. And we're really not going to do a ton of prep to this either. You know, it's pretty much, I want it to be kind of plug and play. I'm probably going to take this a little bit off here. You know, but for the most part, these are literally just going to go on the smoker. And the only reason I'm taking these off, you know, just these end pieces, you know, of skin, it's just because they'll just crisp up, you know. There'll be no point. We'll be ripping them off anyway when we get inside, so may as well just do it now. So very easy. We got that. That's done. Easy peasy. We will just, bam. Doesn't have to look pretty. It just needs to, you know, just take a little bit of that extra off. Having a good sharp knife helps with this quite a lot. Pretty much any trimming, that's going to be true. Okay, this one actually looks pretty good. Oh, this little bit flopped out on me. It looks darn good. Now, the thing with thighs is they are a fatty piece of chicken compared to like your breast, and I like to keep all that fat on there. Let it cook in, let it render, let it be a part of that meal. And bam, we are done with those. So we're just going to season them up now. Easy peasy. We'll put that down. And what we have is pretty simple, just Kinders. Literally got it at Kroger Publix, which is a local store here in Georgia in the southeast. But it's just a grilled chicken rub. A lot of times I do the pepper and salt, seasoned salt thing. But since this is just for the family, we're not serving a big crowd, let's just have a little fun with it. So we'll hit that bottom first, as you've probably seen in many videos. And be careful with chicken. You never want to over season it. It's very easy to do. It's one of those meats that just doesn't need a whole lot. Little goes a long way. And that's the bottom. Let's hit that top. A little bit more there. And there it is. That's it. These are ready to sit here and wait for the fire to get going, to burn down into coals for us. And then we'll be ready to throw them on. I'm going to make a video pretty soon about my favorite ways to make coals for the fire. You probably all watched YouTube videos, or if you're kind of just getting your smoker, you're going to see, I mean, a bunch of different ways to do it. I've got 3 that I really like, and one that I've kind of been stuck to for a couple months now that I've been enjoying, and is a little bit easier. So I'm going to put out a video pretty soon on that, and once I have that out, I'll link it to some of these videos early on where I'm starting these cooks. And just so everybody knows, this is my second YouTube video that I'm shooting, so I'm trying my best here. But we're going to kind of learn together, and hopefully you guys can comment and tell me what you liked, what you don't like. You know, if you have any advice, or if I can give you any advice, that'd be awesome. As you can see, I'm just burning down some wood in the firebox. This is how I've been doing it for a little while. I like it mostly because then your coals are already there. I don't have to buy a bag of charcoal. I can just use the wood I already have. I cut my wood up from the full-size splits. I cut them down, and I cut those into 2 or 3 different pieces per split. So you don't really go through that much wood just to do this. It takes maybe a little longer to do this than charcoal, but I think so far it's given me a great coal bed. So as we kind of wait for this to burn down, you know, this is a great time to get your chicken or your brisket or anything ready and kind of let that seasoning set in for, you know, 15, 20, 30 minutes. It's not going to hurt your food to sit out for a few minutes while you do this. So I just wanted to give you guys kind of a quick look before I do a whole video on something like this. But I just put this on maybe 30-ish minutes ago, 20, 30 minutes ago. So we're getting pretty close. Another little bit here and we'll be pretty close. You can see the fire is going pretty good. I got this door wide open. And now you can see our coals have mostly burned down. I have some wood in there already. Those are the last bit of the coal woods that haven't quite burned down. So I've put them already in the orientation that I'll have them. How I typically cook, I kind of cut a little ravine down the middle, and then I kind of put them in this orientation here. Usually 2 or 3 logs of these kind of, you know, third size split logs works best in this smoker, at least as far as I've learned. So we're going to get this top closed up on this cowboy firebox here, and then we'll, you know, let this thing come up to temperature. It'll probably rise quite a bit, and then we'll let it fall, and we'll start putting the chicken on it in just a couple minutes. Okay, guys, the coal bed's burned down. So I'm kind of giving you a shot of my smoker here because I'm going to kind of show you the orientation I put these in. It's pretty simple for the first little while of the cook. We're going to kind of have them on the cooler side. We call the cooler side, for those who are kind of getting into smoking and aren't sure, that's this side. It gets a little warm right here, right where the stack kind of intakes that heat, and then over here is kind of ripping hot. So we're going to put them kind of just right here for now. Okay, and we're going to put those presentation side up, and we're going to get some good smoke on these. Now keep in mind, these walls get hot, so when you're putting stuff in there and you close that door, here and here is going to be a little warmer than here and here. So if you need to, you know, if it's a longer cook or you're cooking a lot all at once, you may have to rotate some stuff around. And that's pretty normal, especially on these smaller kind of backyard cookers. And I'm going to get into a lot of videos where I show you how much you can cook on this little thing. We're going to be doing catering, we're going to be doing tailgate parties, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff, big family parties. People expect me to cook a lot, and that's good. And I don't want to spend $5,000 on a big old spot. I'd love to be able to afford that, but I can't. I'm a working man. I have what I have. So I try to make the most of this, and I think a lot of you guys are in the same boat, whether it's this smoker or the Oklahoma Joe or a pellet smoker. I mean, there's a million different types of smokers and reasons why you don't have enough space, but I'm going to show you guys how to utilize that space. But for now, we're just cooking 4 chicken thighs. It's just for me and my wife and my daughter tonight. So it's just going to be us eating these. So we just need a few of them. But I wanted to show you how best to get that smoke on there and then eventually to crisp them up right at the end. So we're going to check on these in probably maybe an hour and a half, maybe probably closer to an hour and a half. We're just going to let them roll in the smoke and take on some of that beautiful oak flavor. All right, it's been about an hour and a half now, maybe a little less. These have been in here rolling right around 250-ish, maybe a little higher, 260, 265, kind of bouncing around in there. That's kind of about the range you're going to keep these small offset smokers. I mean, you're within 25 degrees is pretty tight, especially as you're first starting to learn, and that's fine. It's going to bounce around a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. The cook will come out fine. And in some future videos, maybe when we get a little more advanced, I'll show you kind of how I use this, the stack and everything. But let's check on these, check on the temps. All right, these look awesome. We're looking to be about 155, 156 there. We're a little higher here at 160, 165, which makes sense to me. 155, 156. So thighs can go up to like 180, 185, even a little higher if you want to. But to crisp up this skin, now that we're in the mid 150s or so, we're going to put these all the way over at the hot end of the smoker, and then we're going to just really kind of get ripping hot for it depends on how long, 15, 20, 30 minutes. It just depends till we get up to 175, 180, or whatever feels kind of probe tender and what feels good. But they look awesome right now. I would pick them up. They're a little hot to touch. I'm going to go put on my gloves real quick. And then I'll kind of show you guys, but the color looks great. They look awesome. So I'm pretty happy with this so far. So, and another thing, we've pretty much been cooking with this thermometer here. We haven't really needed to worry about this one over here because we're not cooking anything on that side, but now we're going to be shifting these over. So we will be using this thermometer, and we'll actually, I usually do about 2 or 3 splits. We might even up that to 4 or 5, depending on how, you know, how it's rolling. We have a great fire in there right now though, so we're just going to add right to that. And when we do this, so let me kind of show this to you. Hopefully it's coming out kind of the right color on camera, but it's a beautiful brown color. It looks great, it smells great. I mean, this is going to be an awesome piece of meat. So when you do this and you're going to go on the hotter end, we actually want to flip them over to the skin side, and we're just going to put them literally as close as we can over here. I'm going to put some of these bigger ones. There's 3 pretty big ones and then kind of one that's a little smaller here. So we'll put that kind of right next to it as close as we can. And now we have them over here and we're good. So, I mean, we're going to close this up. And then we're going to add some logs here in just a minute and get to smoking again and kind of get this as hot as we can, and I'll check back in. Like I said, in probably maybe 15 to 20 minutes, we'll check in and see kind of where they're at. And see how we're doing, but it's not going to take much longer from here. Okay guys, it's been about 25-ish minutes. Our fire's still going really good. We're ripping hot right here, and I can hear them sizzling. I don't know if you can hear it if I put my mic up close, but it is sizzling in there. So it's cooking just fine. I am going to get them temped. I have a feeling at least a couple of them are probably done. And just as a heads up, I'm using the ThermoPen. You've probably seen these all over. It works. I like a budget-friendly option typically, but this thing just works. I've had this for a while, and it's a powerhouse. I can link it in the description, but there's a bunch of different places you can buy it. I'm not affiliated. I'm just really impressed. So we're at 180, about 180, a little over 180. We're a little under 175 or so here, and just at 180. So all of these other than that one on the end are pretty much done. So we're good. And if I pull these up and see what the underside looks like, it looks gorgeous. It is crispy, it is nice, it darkened up a bit. I mean, these are beautiful thighs. I'll come and give you a look here. Hopefully you can see just how juicy these are here. Look at all that running out of it. I don't want to lose any of it, but you know how it is, YouTube. Everyone wants to see the juice. I get it. I'm the same way. I mean, you can see it dripping off my hands right now. I mean, these are wet with juice. So I think we're done cooking these here. I mean, these look really good. I'm really excited. So we're gonna get these off, get them plated up because my wife is getting hungry, as am I. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Again, look at that. Oh my God, it just gushed. I picked it up and it just gushed out. I don't know if you can see it running through here. I mean, it is wet and a beautiful color. I think sometimes it comes through a little darker on camera than it is, but it's a beautiful, beautiful color. Look at that. Okay, I'll stop playing with the meat. All right, and last one. So, and again, this was a relatively easy cook. You know, we did a relatively easy cook here, and that's a good thing. Sometimes we need these. You know, what I say, start with chicken and when you get your smoker, maybe not. I'd probably say pork butt. I think most people would, because I think this does take a little bit of know-how and a little bit of playing, and I've messed them up. You're gonna mess up some cooks. It happens. And it's not a big deal. You know, you eat it anyway, unless it's too messed up. But most of the time, you just eat it anyway, and you wait for the next one. It gives you a really good excuse to cook again. But that's pretty much it. I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to ask you, if you liked it, please subscribe or like the video, or just send me a comment. You know, I'd love to hear from you again. As I said, you know, I want this to be, you know, something we can converse about. Maybe you have some hints and tips. Maybe you have some questions. Maybe you just want to know about me. That'd be great. So go ahead and, you know, interact with me. I'd love that. And I'll be posting going forward probably once a week for now. Again, I'm new to this YouTube thing. I'm new to the channel. I want to be as real as possible. So I'll probably be posting once or maybe twice a week, but probably consistently once a week. And again, I want to thank you for joining me for this cook.